Have you ever spent hours looking through card racks and still couldn't find the right card? Well, look no more. Today we'll show you how to make perfect greeting cards for everyone on your list. Take this origami fan card, for example. Anyone who loves the Orient would fall for it in a second. Tansy Bailey of Fiskars made it with border punches. Welcome, Tansy.
Hi, Joy. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. It's great to be here.
Now, you say you're an interior designer.
Yes.
And you've used your interior design skills in designing greeting cards.
Right. I use that. I use the color, the texture, the fibers, and all that to make a really great card.
I love that. And in this particular example, you do have the fibers, you have shine, glitz, prints, everything is right here.
Right.
How did you get started on this one?
Well, I just used cardstock, and you choose colors. I chose red and black. I just cut my card to the side. You can do any size you'd like.
All right.
I also use the border punch to do that decorative edge there.
And that gives such a nice lacy edge right there.
Absolutely, and we cut a window in, any size window you'd like.
Okay.
And what we did, we glued them together. You only glue the back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if you won't want to glue your card together, because we want to put the window in. So here's the window. So now we're going to use the acetate.
Right.
And that's the really cool part.
Tell me about this acetate.
Well, all you have to do is it comes in sheets like this and has a film on it. Take the film off. Don't make the mistake and not take the film off, because you ruin your project if you do that.
That would be such a bummer too, all that work.
That wouldn't be fun. So we're going to get a geisha girl here.
Okay.
And we are going to stamp her onto the acetate.
All right.
Okay.
And you just stamp her right on there.
Right on, okay?
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to heat set that. Do not get too close or you'll burn it up.
Right, because the acetate is a plastic and it could melt from the heat.
Do that real quick, right?
Okay.
So turn that off. This one, we're not going to use a stamp. We're going to actually use the stamp pad. We're going to flip it over on the back. You want to do the back? And just stamp the color onto the acetate.
Tansy, I really like that idea because that adds the glitz and the glamour from the back side.
Back side, right. Right. It's like doing it in reverse.
Yeah.
Okay, and then now we have a finished one. Okay, this is what it looks like finished.
Now, this is what it looks like finished. Now, do you heat set the...
other side also. We did it on the back side. We heat set that also. You have to always heat set it so it sets the color.
Okay.
And then we're going to use a piece of any kind of paper. We want a little design on it.
All right.
And what happens, look what happens when you put the two together.
That is gorgeous.
Just reveals for that. Right.
And that's a nice gentle print coming right through there.
Right, another texture like we talked about. And then we're going to put the card together. And you're going to glue it in here. You just use your glue. Glue it all together. Just make sure you don't glue the card so you can't open it.
That's right.
And you just put it in your window. You fit it in your window, glue it together. And then we have
And that's what you've done right here.
Right here. That's her. And then we embellish it. We do the little fans like we did when we were little girls. We did the fans.
Right. Now, let's look at these fans for a second here, because you've done two different prints. So really, you could pick any theme, any print, anything you want right here.
Any colors. And then what we're going to show you real quick is how to punch. So use the border punch. And then make it real easy. It comes in all different kind of patterns.
All right.
You just press it.
Put your paper right in.
Right. And they have a pattern. You go along the side and match it.
Oh, look at
that. So you just
that.
match that pattern.
So as you print along, as you punch along, you can just move that up.
Right, right.
And get to the next one.
Right. And it comes out just like this.
That is nice.
Just like that. And then you fold it, just like we did when we were kids, making the little fans.
And I remember in school,
yes,
and it was hot.
Yes. And then you come out this, you glue the end, just glue the end. And you know what we've done? We use scrap paper.
Yes, you did. And you know what? I love to use my scraps. And you took that little strip and laced it right around the
just
bottom.
Wrap it around there, and then you glue it, and it makes a little fan. And then we use extra things. And then we made a little tassel.
You did.
With all the different embroidery fibers, and you can use all different colors, and just scraps. Don't ever throw your scraps away, because then you keep them in a little box and you'll use them. So you could just use in things that you had.
Tansy, that is awesome. Now, you've also done a little extra stamping.
Right, a little more embellishing.
Added some bamboo there.
Right.
This is a beautiful card, and I think anybody would love to receive it.
Yes.
Thank you, Tansy. You never know what you'll find when you open a personal greeting card. A card can look like a flat piece of paper, but pull the ends and presto, you've got a greeting with 3 dimensions. And the best part is you can adapt it to any occasion. This card was created by Sandy Genovese for Mrs. Grossman's Paper Company. Welcome, Sandy.
Hi, Joy.
I heard that you haven't bought a greeting card in over 20 years.
Well, you know, I seldom buy cards. I really like the personalization of being able to make them for my friends and my family, and so that's generally what I do. And what I brought today is one that I created, and it has a sleeve, and the sleeve is partly there to look good and for a place to put a greeting, but also it's a way to keep all these hanging elements so that the wires or the threads don't get twisted.
I love this card, Sandy.
Well, when you look at the windows, these are die cut, and we're going to see how to do that, and then each of these are vellum stickers with a vellum attachment at the top. It's just going to hold it on there.
Well, I want you to show us all the steps for making this beautiful card.
Well, to begin with, I started with paper that was long. I wanted my card to be 5 panels, and I wanted each one to be 5 inches. So I had to start with paper that was 25 inches long.
Okay, now this is longer than usual paper. How do you find this long paper?
Well, if you go, even in the craft store, if you just go to the art section, they have what are called master sheets or parent sheets.
Right.
And it's actually larger than this, and I've trimmed it down.
Okay.
So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to score it. So I like to use this tool.
I love this tool.
Yeah, I know this is one of your favorites. Mine too. And I'm going to use it to score. If you look here, I've switched out the blade from the cutting blade to the scoring blade, and there's a couple of them there.
Right, this is the cutting and this is the scoring.
Correct. So at this point, I'm ready to score. So I position it, like I said, I want it every 5 inches. So I position it here at 5, and I'm going to just pull, and then I'll pull this up, and you can see how it's created that scoring mark.
Wonderful.
And I would just continue to slide it all the way through, and every 5 inches I would score.
Okay.
And I'll end up with this long strip. And then I want to accordion fold, and that gives me the basis of the card. And now I want to die cut those square openings or those windows.
Right.
So what I'll do is I'll take, this is the die that I used. It's an acrylic die. And I first went through and I just cut just a regular square.
All right.
And with the die. And now I want to position it, and I'm going to just use it as a guide.
Okay.
So I'm going to position it here on my card.
And Sandy, you're using repositionable tape. I love this stuff. You can use it for everything.
Yeah, the removable tape is really handy.
It's the best.
One of my very best friends. So now I'm going to take the acrylic die, and I use that guide as a means to be able to see and to position it correctly. So now I'm going to slide it in, and I'm cutting it in a professional die cutter that you'd find in the craft store. You can also do a personal die cutter, but you wouldn't be able to cut through quite as many thicknesses.
Right, you could probably do 3 thicknesses, so you'd have a 3-panel card.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now you can see that has cut all the windows for the card.
Love it.
Right. And so over here, I have one that's cut, and now it's time to position all the sticker elements. And what I've done is I've taken just matching pairs of vellum stickers,
Okay.
and I've sandwiched thread, just white thread in between the pairs. And that gives me the stickers that I'm going to actually hang in each of the windows.
So you're sticking them front to back with the thread in between like a sandwich.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm going to position it in the window, and then it's always so helpful to have another pair of hands.
I know,
Thank you.
isn't it?
And so, can you come to my house?
Sure, anytime, Sandy.
I'm going to use another sticker to just add a decorative edge, and you can partner them in all kinds of fun ways to create those elements. And if we go back and look at the finished one,
That's
you
right.
can see how all the stickers are done that way. And then this element down here is just additional vellum stickers that came off of a long 12-inch strip.
That's really nice. And you've left enough room down here where you can write a little message or something.
You could do it there. You can also create, remember that the cover?
Right, the
This is
sleeve.
really just something, it's a strip of coordinating paper that it should be big enough to cover the square, and it will keep all those dangly elements from getting twisted. And it's just fastened in the back, and we even have the one here that was done. Real simple.
I love it, Sandy. This is the prettiest card. I would love to get one of these in the mail.
Well, you know, you are on my card list. I think I have sent you a card or two.
You have, Sandy. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
Greetings from DIY. I'm Joy Macdonell. No matter what the occasion, a greeting card is so much more personal when you include a photograph. And what better place to tuck a photo than its own special sleeve? Kathy Perkins of Impress Rubber Stamps is here to show us just how this one works. Welcome, Kathy.
Hi, Joy. It's nice to be here.
I love the idea of putting a photo on a greeting card.
Yeah, it really is a great idea. It personalizes that card, and that way the recipient knows it was made specially for them.
They definitely do. And that's what you've done right here with this card.
Yeah, this one, like you say, the photo's hidden in this sleeve, and you pull it out, and it exposes the card. There's an eyelet at the top so that it pivots, and you can include your sentiment on the inside.
That is adorable. You've got to show us all the steps.
Okay, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is use this beautiful printed paper and make my sleeve, and I'll cut it out using a template. Then I'll use a burnisher to score it, make my folds, fold it up.
And if you'd like to get a copy of this template, visit our website.
Okay, I'll quickly glue this in place using some adhesive.
Okay.
That goes over, and same at the bottom, goes up. And then for the top, to create a little notch, I just use a circle punch, go in about halfway, and make that punch so that I have an easy way to grip that card when it comes out.
Well, that sleeve is a piece of cake to make, isn't it?
It is. This whole card is very simple. Okay, next thing, I have 2 pieces of brown cardstock that fit right inside that template.
So it's brown on this side and brown on this side, but white in the center.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Okay, and next thing I'm going to add my contrasting printed paper at the bottom. And again, I'll just use a little bit of adhesive and try to get that right
And I
in
like
there.
the way you use the dots and the stripes. I think that's really cute.
I love that combination together.
Okay.
Okay, next thing, I have my greeting that I'm going to stamp on a strip of plain white paper. I'll try to get that
And you're a
straight
good
on there.
stamper.
I've had some experience.
I think a little bit.
Okay, and again, a little quick adhesive on the back, and that goes right on the seam between the 2 contrasting papers there.
So you cover up that seam.
Right.
It's very nice.
Right. Then another piece of contrasting pink cardstock, and that's going to go right kind of in the lower center
Okay.
of that brown section. And then to add my photo, I like to use a smaller hole punch and cut out my photo, and I'm actually flipping it over so I can get that face right in there where I want it and
Okay.
frame it.
Let's see how you're doing that. You can just look right through that circle and see that
Exactly,
face.
right where I want it, and then I'll go ahead and make that punch.
Give it a nice little punch.
Yep, out she pops.
Okay.
And well,
And
Get
then
a
she
little
goes right in
adhesive.
the center there.
I actually put it up a little bit high on this one.
That
just
way it
to-
doesn't look like a target, huh?
Exactly. To put that face in the middle, it really does look like it's going to be a target.
Okay,
Then-
what's next?
Okay, to finish off the card, I'm going to use another shape punch and cut out a little flower out of this contrasting pink cardstock.
All right.
And watch it pop. Wow. Okay, it's there. Then that goes at the top, and I will install an eyelet up there, and that'll hold the 3 pieces of the card together.
Okay, and that's important because you really have used that flower to hold that right into the sleeve there.
Exactly, and it becomes an accent for the outside of the sleeve as well as for the card when you pull it out.
That's absolutely adorable. And you've also done this in another color combination.
Right. With this one, I substituted an initial. The monograms are so popular now. So I put in an initial, it still personalizes it, and I did center that one.
Wonderful, thank you. When you're sending one-of-a-kind greeting cards, don't forget the envelope. It's the first thing your friends see, and it should be every bit as special as the card. You can present a card in a clear envelope or one that's lined, but this is one of my favorites. This is a card that's made up of 4 circles. The 4 circles come together around a square and fold on the top just like a box does. Let me show you how it works. What we're going to do is cut 4 circles the same size, and I'm using a circle cutter to help me do that. I've decided what size I want to have, and on this one it's 125, which gives me a diameter for my circle of 4 inches. And that's really important because you want the you want to know that diameter so that when you fold and create your circles, they go right around a square. What I've done here, so I just cut my circle. We're going to fold it in half, and I've gone ahead and already started my card. So this is my last piece. This is the foundation of my card. This is my square that I've already cut, and I'm going to put some adhesive right on the circle and put my last circle right into place. It's really easy to do. The back side will look like this, but what we want to do on the front side is go ahead and fold those the circles together, because that's the fun part, and that's the part that everybody's going to want to open. So see how we tuck that last circle right in there? And that gives us the poofy kind of top that we have. Now what we want to do is, I like to put a little decoration on the top. So I like to take a sticker, and I've chosen a sticker that has some glitz to it because I think that'll look really pretty on top of that little envelope we've made. Now what I want to do is I want to pop it up a little bit, so I'm going to add a piece of foam tape on the back. And if I were to just stick that right down, all the petals of the flowers would stick to my card. So what I want to do is put some powder on the back to take the stick off. I'm going to leave one side of this foam adhesive covered so that I don't put powder on that. And I'm just going to sprinkle my powder on. You don't have to be dainty or nice about this. Just go ahead and sprinkle it right on there. And then I use a paintbrush to sort of smear it around a little bit. And then the fun part is that you get to blow the powder away. So I'm going to blow this off. Dust off my surface, expose the other side of my foam tape, and put my flower in place. Now, if you got any powder on anything, just wipe it off. It comes right off. And we've created a cute little card. Now, the nice thing is this card can be used in a couple different ways. You can fold your card up, put a little message on the inside with a sticker, and on the back you can address it and send it to somebody. You simply put it inside a clear envelope and it goes right off in the mail. Or it makes a great gift top for on top of a package, and you can write your to and from on the back so they know who's receiving the gift. Now, I also like to line envelopes because I think they look really pretty when they have a little note or a little special touch from the rest of the item inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to get out our personal trimmer and we're going to take the envelope and measure the size of the envelope. Now, I know already that this is 7 inches wide. So what I want to do is take a piece of vellum and cut my vellum so it's a little thinner than the width of the envelope. I'm going to slip the vellum inside the envelope, right like that. Now I get to use the envelope as the pattern. That's the great part. So I'm going to put this into my cutter, and you don't have to use your paper stops. You just simply slide it in there, cut all the way down, and then cut the other side the same way. I'm going to do the same exact thing, just cut it right down. Then what I would do is slip the vellum out and cut about 1/2 inch off the bottom. And what that will allow me to do is take my card and slide the vellum back in, adhere it, close it up, put a cute little tag on the front, and I'm all set to mail this off to my friend. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Joy Macdonell. Thanks for joining us.